As you can see, this tie rod between the left and the right wheel is rubbing against this metal part, and I could tell you that there's some missing material there. It's been bent so many times. I'm going to undo those castle nuts and try to make it straight. I got an idea for this tie rod. I have this pipe. I was supposed to use that pipe for something else or for bushings. It's simply I don't know what the schedule is, but it's kind of thick. It's at least 1/8 of an inch, and I feel this one might be also the same thing. As you can see, this tie rod is kind of bent badly. I don't know what I'd be able to do with that. And looking at these crimps, this tells me that this is a pipe actually first, but I don't know what is inside of this except for threads. So I'm going to undo those ball joints and we'll see from there. Okay. Look nice. With that in mind, I think it will not be really much difficult to duplicate that. But I have a lot of loose. So this is why there was this clamp to keep it clamped, and I guess, yep, there's a slit in there to make sure that it's really tied against the tie rod. Anyways, that doesn't change this. Anyways, I have to make something new. Was not much tight. I don't know how it did held. Sometimes there's some surprise. So that's pretty much the same. I don't know if I can salvage these threads. I'd like to use some you can see that joint is good. This one is terribly bent, and I was looking. Well, I'm not in such great shape. I don't know if there's any replacement for that. So I'm lucky. I had bought these for another project. Actually, I had in mind to make an implement for the small bowlines. As you might remember, the lower pins are 3/4 of an inch. And I figured out that I could weld it on the implement. I have these pins for really cheap. Now I've got those two long nuts. My idea is maybe, or it will, anyways, I've chosen to do so. I've got those new bolts that were meant for the loader of the tractor because the bolts were quite rusted. Okay, let's see. This is the lock nut. It's not the lock nut actually, but it will lock against this one. Hopefully I get enough threads. and I'll be able to lock it into position. I weld that at the end here. Like this, one end. Like this, the other end. I cut right there and weld over this. Hopefully I will be able to get a good weld on it. But if you ever wonder if I'd be able to weld something strong on it, just look at this and you will understand that it could be achievable. So the idea is to get the right length, so I'm not out of adjustment. Okay, well, it's pretty much like this. Okay, I can see I'm already really too much long. But let's say, keep this like this. To reverse that, it would be easier. Okay. This. So on this one, that's where I will be welding. So I'm going to put this right here. And there's some adjustment left. Not too much, because actually it was in the correct position. Might be like this. I keep a little bit material here. Yeah, I keep more material each end, so I can get a good weld like this. That's where I cut that tube. Perfect. So I cut that here, and I'll be able to make a few holes to weld this inner pin, and I make a seam also. I've got this bolt also, so the ends will be reinforced inside. That's how I'll make it. So next I'm going to weld in these holes, and I tighten this back a little bit to make sure it's really snug against this, so that the inner threads are really pulling on the long nut. When done, okay, that's time to try it. So basically, because I have right hand threads on both sides, then I'm kind of stuck to have an edge not finer than 1 thread. It's now time to assemble some components: the axle, the wheels, and the subframe, because I need some room to work, and it's on the floor. It's not easy to work around with that, so I'm going to assemble that now. That's exactly the kind of thing that I can get in my head. I'm the kind to remember this. So like this, there's, hey, watch out! So I should be good to clear the radiator, and yet be able to lift enough, maybe not, nope. So that's the pin to put in, and that's a 5/16 inch bolt to hold the pin onto the axle. So I have the pin that goes there, the spring pin, in that hole. Once I introduce that pin into that bracket, I don't know where the reference is. So I'm going to draw something there. I don't know if it will hold. Anyways, we'll see. Yes. So next step, install that homemade new tie rod. it's really a tight spot because, as you can see on the support for the axle, I'm stuck against this and I can barely insert this inside. But it does work. So by the way, this is the loose I got into the steering box, so I won't be concerned that much about alignment on this. What I'm going to do is to align the front axle. I use a piece of angle iron on this side and the other side too, which will give me the parallel of the hubs, and I will confirm the measure at the front and at the back to have initially the same measurement to adjust the tie rod. I'm going to give some toe in, just a little bit. I'm not aiming at driving at high speeds, but we'll see. So at the front I get 52 and a half. And 53 and an eighth. So I'm really towing a lot. So because I put a clamp there, I have to rotate these. Make sure that the clamp doesn't interfere. Like this. So that's the beauty when you don't have any power steering. You can turn anything like you want. So I got way more at the back, so I have to reduce. Okay, I've done one turn. I put it straight. Okay, now we get 52 and 11/16. $52 and 9/16. So I'm still, whoa. Now I get 52 and a half. And 52 and 5/8. That's perfect. Just a slight toe in. That would be good. So if you like to have a better description on how to do the alignment on the front end axle, look at the channel of Dave Knows How. He described it really well. Oh, it's free. The screw. So this screw is going to take this one more sock, and this one has a hole